MAXX first. This is definitely giving me designer vibes. What do we think of these? On a Sunday afternoon, it is Marks and Spencer's. Talking of Amazon, I have very glamorous items come in. I'll add a link to these earrings below because come and have a look. I have blazer. So this is the bits I find overwhelming. It makes me feel like I'm not going completely crazy. Basically said no. He wants me in as soon as possible. Been left this morning in a little bit to return one. If I was thinking of keeping two, I should have bought the two. Remind me never to go shopping. Good morning. A quick outfit of the day. I have got this shirt on from ZARA. This little white vest is from Amazon. And then these linen trousers are from Primark. Just for a chilled day around the house, sorting some bits and pieces out. I may have to nip to the shops at some point. So just a quick update for anybody that's interested on the fertility side. If you're not, then pass forward a little bit. So my AMH level came back good enough to do IVF, and then I've had some bloods done, so some vitamin tests that I was a bit worried about, B12, vitamin D, iron, and they've come back a little bit on the low side, which is so funny because in the range for the NHS they're saying they're normal, but I've had this before whenever I've spoken to like specialists and stuff, that the NHS says normal, but yet when you speak to a specialist they're saying that's a bit low and you're probably experiencing some symptoms, which I have been, which is good in one way because it makes me feel like I'm not going completely crazy, that there's been something that's not quite right. Anyway, that's fine. Need to take some supplements. And then I've also had some hormone tests come back, which are out of range. Again, to be expected, I'm getting older. My ovaries and things probably aren't working as well as they should be. I am not surprised, if I'm honest. I feel like the last 6 months I've just felt some things that are probably slightly different. Well, last 6 months to a year things have been slightly different, so I'm not surprised they've come out of range. He wants me in as soon as possible for a scan during ovulation, so there's something going on there. And then ideally, I think he mentioned something like going on estrogen, which I'm really surprised at, because some believe that your endometriosis could be because your estrogen's high. But then some of my endometriosis symptoms, especially around my period, have been so much better. So maybe that's why. Ideally, I think we were thinking, let's see what the tests say, then see how much everything's going to cost, and then maybe go on like a 3-month detox, being good with food, cutting down the drink, and try and improve the egg quality. And he's basically said, no, you need to just start. That's not what I was hoping for. We have been considering about going to Ibiza for a bit of a blowout because we haven't really been on any holidays and stuff. So I did ask him about that because I just said, obviously there's going to be quite a lot of drink involved for the weekend. And he said that he's not against us going because we haven't really had any sort of like time off as such. But he's definitely sure on the don't wait for 3 months to try and get everything in as best condition as possible, just to start. So good to get some direction, bad because it's another stage of my fertility that clear sign that things are declining. So I've been left this morning feeling a little bit flat, and now I just need to think about, do we go on this Ibiza weekend, have a big blowout and just enjoy ourselves and what will be, or do we not go and maybe go on a more relaxing holiday just so I can say I've done everything? But is one weekend really going to make a difference after everything? Probably not. So that is my update on that, and I'm sorry if that's not for you, but I have had some messages thanking me for sharing this part of my life because it is really hard, and all I would say is social media helped me so much through this whole, God knows how many years it's been. I am definitely one for maybe not reaching out to people to ask questions, and I was so thankful for the people that just gave out their information and was open about what was going on, the good, the bad, the ugly, because it meant that I didn't have to ask the questions, but I got the answers that I needed. If you are struggling, I'm sending you so much love. I would like to say there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and I'll let you know when that is or what that is. I have just filmed a hair tutorial for TikTok. This is how I used to curl my hair before it was fashionable to have sort of that sleek, hardly any curl kind of hairdo. And again, I always do the curls in the middle, and then this style looks quite nice, sort of more messy too. I haven't brushed the curls out too much because I know they're going to drop throughout the day, so I don't want to lose them too much. And the more you brush it, the more fizzier it gets. But actually quite enjoying wearing my hair like this again. And I think even better when it's a little bit longer. I've seen on TikTok they're sort of calling it the Kyle Jenner curl. I think it's more of a messy, undone curl. Again, it will look better once it's dropped a bit, but I don't want to brush it too much because otherwise it will go frizzy. I'm just thinking what to do. I was going to go out and about and do a bit of shopping, but I don't know where to go or where I want to go. I have ordered a couple of bits online as well, so they're arriving today. Well, some of it's arriving today. I hate that when you pay for next day delivery and then only part of your parcel comes. And then I ordered some stuff from H&M. I don't know, it feels like ages ago. I think it's because you're so used to Amazon now where you can just get things instantly, that everything you expect also instantly. It does add a little bit of pressure actually when I'm sending stuff out for Stylatic, because I'm always cautious of that, to try and get it out as soon as possible, just because I know people's expectations are a lot higher now for how quickly they get things. And even just standard with some of the couriers, it's like 3 to 4 days. So if you don't get it out sort of on the day that you get the order in or the day after, it can sometimes be nearly a week, which is a long time in nowadays. So talking of Amazon, I have got some very glamorous items coming. We have needed a steamer for so long, so I've got one that should do everything: floors, carpets, windows, bathroom. So I'm sort of excited by getting that. And a juicer. I used to make green smoothies every day, which was a habit to be in. When you sort of work it out, you're not really having that much greens because you can't fit much in. So I've bought a juicer, but the one that tries to keep as much of the fibre in as possible, because a lot of juices gets rid of that bit. So I am hoping to go back to starting my day on green smoothies or various green juices or various juices. I have gone back to drinking black coffee in the morning, which isn't the most excitable thing to do. But today I had soy milk, although I haven't got my usual soy milk. And I probably am feeling a little bit bloated, and I just think black coffee, you just don't get that bloat. And it always means I can fast. So I have gone back to fasting. And some days I'm getting to like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I've not eaten. But I am quite used to fasting. I've done it for a long time. It's just what works for me. Weight-wise, bloating-wise, I don't think it's the best thing actually for as you get older. But it currently is what works for me. And while I'm here, I will just add these. I'll add a link to these earrings below because I saw a very expensive brand selling them for a fortune. These ones are from Amazon and they look very similar, and I've had them in since I bought them. They haven't irritated my ears, they've stayed gold and shiny, so worth a purchase if you like them. Right, I'm gonna get on. I don't know what with, but I'll take you with me. I was going to take you out and about with me today. That was the plan. But you know what? My head is so full. I can't think about what I need or want. And this has been needed to be done for so long and I keep putting it off. And what's slightly motivating me is I keep filming in here. And every time I go to edit the films, I see that mess behind me and it stresses me out. It's a bit Anybody that's close to me would say that I am a messy person, and that is because generally there is mess. I do leave mess around, but this is so hard to explain. I don't know if anybody's the same. I don't actually like mess. I actually have to switch off from it because it stresses me out so much, and I have to be really in the mood to sort it out. And I actually quite enjoy cleaning, but what I don't is sorting the mess out first so I can clean. So I don't know whether I'm in the mood to do this or not, and I'm probably not going to talk through it. I might just put you on time lapse because I need to concentrate. But I think partly this clothes situation is stressing me out. I've got a pile of clean clothing here that needs putting away, but I feel like I've got nowhere to put it because there's a lot of stuff up there that doesn't need to be up there. And to add to it, I have got bags of things that either need to go on Vinted, the charity shop, or someone told me about H&M doing some sort of scheme. If you take bags of clothes, no matter where they're from, you get a £5 voucher to spend in H&M. Now that's an incentive. So I think I'm going to do this first, and maybe this will clear my head a little bit. I have started writing a little bit of a list of some things I need in my capsule wardrobe. I just don't think I've got room for stuff, and I definitely just want to just tailor everything down. I don't wear a lot of stuff. I do have favourites, and I think I would rather replace some of my favourites for either better quality or just because I've had them so long they just need replacing, and just not have as much stuff. I think that will make me feel better. Right, let's give this a go and see how I get on. Should I put you on a tripod so you're a little bit closer? Oh, you're okay there. This needs a coffee. I think I'm going to start by pulling stuff out that I don't think I want anymore. And I'm not going to show you every single piece, but this jumper dress is lovely. It has got me through some hard times, especially after IVF when I was feeling bloated and horrible. But to be honest, I don't think I wore it last winter. So I am going to wash it so it's fresh, and then I think I'm going to pop it on Vinted because it's a really nice jumper from H&M. And then I am going to put this denim shirt on Vinted too. I really like it. It's just a little short, and I like to wear my shirts with little underskirts. So I can wear them as dresses as well, and it's just a bit too short on me, so I am going to wash that as well. I just think it's so much nicer when you get things from Vinted and they smell nice and fresh. I haven't worn these, but because they've been sitting there for a while, they just don't smell as nice. I wore this dress for a wedding and I really liked it, but I don't think I'm going to wear it again. So my ZARA parcel is hopefully on its way. Yes, my ZARA parcel is on its way. I'm sure I've washed that recently because I knew I was going to sell it. So I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to get my rail out, and then I'm going to pop all my Vinted stuff on the rail to take pictures. This is a really nice, lovely cardigan. It's just so long. You have to wear it, well, I have to wear it with heels. I'm 5'7". And I just don't wear it very often because of that fact, because I'm hardy in heels. So that is going in the wash. Denim jackets also going on Vinted, but it needs a little bit of a wash first. A little bit of staining on the collar. We'll see if that sells. If not, I might cut it and make it a bit shorter. Again, it's just like a weird length. It's not long, it's not short, and that's the only reason why I don't wear it. I don't know whether to sell this or not. It's a Ralph Lauren dress, and it's lovely, and I wore it for my birthday after my IVF, so I put on quite a little bit of weight and I just felt so uncomfortable, and this dress just felt so flattering on someone that was feeling uncomfortable and vulnerable. Part of me wants to keep it because it's a really nice dress. I don't go out to many nice places to wear it as such that I wouldn't buy something new. Jim's just made a couple of comments. I think even when I wore it for my birthday, he felt like it was a bit big. But I don't mind things being slightly oversized, where I just don't know if he's just a typical bloke, but he seems to think everything needs to be fitted. So I don't know. I might have to think about that one. This is just a Tesco dress, but it's really nice and flattering. But it's just not long enough on my legs. Again, I just don't find it flattering on my body shape. I think I've only wore it once. So It's got a little tie detail. So I'm going to wash that and pop that on Vinted too. Leather leggings, I don't need them currently, and to be honest I probably I didn't wear them this winter. It's probably the wrong time of year to put them on Vinted, so I'm going to pack them away now for winter and then decide later. It's just so hard living in the UK because some days are cold, so you kind of need that few pieces that are throughout the season. A couple of other jumper dresses from Pretty Lavish that I haven't worn in a while. I am going to keep the black just in case as a cardigan, but I probably won't wear this one. I hardly wore it when I bought it, so that can be washed too. That is just a throw-on cardigan that I don't need. I'll pack those away. Probably don't need my big coat. And that either. More of a winter white. Probably going to keep that one for just to go down to Cornwall. It's a really good one just to chuck on when it's not so warm. And then I might keep that one as well. I've put the brown one to be packed away, but I might keep this grey one from Primark. Again, just if you go down to Cornwall, it's probably a good one just to chuck on with shorts and stuff when it gets a little bit nippy. Everything from there. So that's quite a thick jacket, so not sure I'd wear that spring summer either. It's definitely more of a winter. And then this loungewear all-in-one is more wintry. That is tiny. Right, I'm gonna go and drag in some of my spring summer stuff and then try and work out where I'm gonna put everything. Sorry, I always say that, everything rather than everything. And also pull out my Vinted bags of stuff because I'm gonna put a wash on and get some stuff washed and then hopefully get some pictures taken and getting them up. Like swimwear and bikinis, do people buy that on Vinted? Like some stuff I've definitely only like worn once maybe, or some of them I don't even worn at all. But I know friends and family have had swimwear and stuff off me before, but if you follow me on TikTok or Instagram, will you let me know below? And also let me know what kind of things you like to see on there, because I don't know what I've done to piss off TikTok, but I've gone from doing pretty well to my views are terrible at the moment, but almost to the point where I post something and likes, saves, shares come in instantly straight away, and you look at the analytics and it's like spike, and then next thing it's almost like there's some sort of stop on it. It drops dramatically down and then there's no more views after that. It's just so strange. I thought I had TikTok down, I don't. And Instagram, well, Instagram's always been a funny area for me, but I have no idea what I've done to annoy them. Right, I'm probably going to have to take you in there with me to work out what stuff is in that spring summer that I want to keep and add into here. I'd really like to just get a wardrobe that is mainly capsule, a few nicer pieces, but I just think we're in that culture. If you ever go anywhere sort of nice or for an occasion, you buy something new. So having fancy stuff just sitting in my wardrobe for years on end, it just seems pointless. And even when I do go somewhere fancy, I don't tend to go too overly dressed, so it's probably items that I could use day to day. Obviously, apart from weddings, sometimes they're dresses and things that I wouldn't wear day to day. My H&M order is finally on its way. When's that expected? It doesn't say. Where do I start? Right, that's stuff that's getting packed away. That's PJs that could do with washing. That's holiday stuff, but there is a couple of pieces in here that I would wear every day. So if you need washing, maybe. Sorry, I didn't realise I didn't have tracking on. So this is my holiday bag, but there are a couple of bits in here that I probably would wear generally in the summer, like this crochet top. The skirt, not so much, but it can be useful. And then we might be going on holiday. So, holiday. We might be going. I'm still thinking about it. I've got this dress from, is it Mishkai? It's lovely. It is, you can see through it, but with some nude underwear, it's nice. They come really big. This is a small, and I feel it's a bit too big on me, which is just crazy, because in anything else. A small would not be too big. I wore it last year on holiday, loved it. It's quite thick on top, and I think if we go to Spain or anywhere, it's going to be quite warm, so I don't know if I find this too much. So then that means it's another summer not wearing it, and I just don't know whether it's a waste sitting in a bag. So I might pop that on Vinted, and then if I do find I need one again, I'll get a bit of a smaller size. Or maybe I would have lost quite a bit of weight by then and go even smaller. Holiday jumper, but a little off-the-shoulder jumper. I think that would be good generally to wear spring, summer. This crochet cardigan is ideal for holiday. Would I wear it open as a cardigan? Spring, summer? Maybe. I will keep that there. I need to keep some of this out just in case I do go on holiday. And then I think what I don't take, I am going to put on Vinted, because it would have been in here a couple of summers by this point. I might keep that one because I think that's just generally good for a holiday dress. But I probably don't need it. Probably don't need it out though, do I? Let's see. The rest of it is linen shirt, ideal for holiday, but again I think it could also be worn day to day. And same with this white, like a thick linen material white shirt is good for day to day. Everything is holiday, or I need to get rid of it. That one. That is all Vinted stuff, so I need to go through that and pop it in the wash. I was going to sell that, but I don't know. Maybe I'm liking a little bit of colour nowadays, so I might keep that one. But I've got a Adenola hoodie in there, grey one, that I've only wore a couple of times, which I'm going to be putting on Vinted. Love the jumper, I just think they come too short. With this one, I don't mind sort of tucking it in, if anything. But a hoodie, you just want it sort of longer. I just don't like how they fit. So that will be going. That's another bad habit of mine that annoys everyone. I leave drawers and doors open. I don't know why I do it, I just do. Even sometimes I've done it and I still ignore that I've done it. This is all spring, summer that I'm going to potentially wear so they can go out. And this is all Vinted. Again, so I want to put it with that pile. There's like linen jackets in there. There's Asian dresses for weddings. There's a lot. And this is full of rubbish that I just bagged up because I couldn't cope with the mess. So this is the bits that I find overwhelming. Little knick-knacky bits that you've just... I have made a good start. So currently I've got my jackets and suit jackets that I might wear more regularly here. My kind of everyday loungewear stuff that probably just looks a little bit messy, so I don't really want it out. My longer pieces, and then my trousers and skirts that I would wear more regularly, and also my tops. But I have got this pile here, and then some spring summer pieces here too. But I have got quite a bit of room in here, so I'm going to put things like I don't want to pack away because I just might need them. For instance, like this stripy top I probably wouldn't wear would I? Maybe that needs to come out. But just any sort of light knitwear that I might need again if we go to Cornwall or it's cold. And then just a couple of more jackets that I probably won't wear as regularly, but don't want to pack them away. But I've got quite a bit of room here, so I might have to put some of that stuff, again, that I don't use very regular. And then here, I just like it to look nice and a bit of inspiration of what I like to wear at the moment. And also, this is the area that I can see from when I'm in bed, so I just want it to look nice and not cluttered. Obviously one day this will be a lovely dressing room with cupboard doors and it will all look nice, but for now this is what we are working with. So I'm going to try and sort this pile out here because this is obviously what I've been wearing recently. Some of it might be a bit wintry that I could pack away too, because some of it has been sitting in the utility room for quite a while. Right, I'm going to crack on. It's a heavy one. Where are you going, mister? Where are you going? Come and have a look. I have a linen blazer. So this is more of a relaxed look compared to the one that I've already got, I think. Denim shirts, some trousers that go with the blazer, white shorts, light coloured shorts. I think I got them in 2 sizes, and then also another style, light coloured. Did I say shorts then? I meant trousers. The other day I made the viral protein bowl, but I added a couple of extra bits which I just think made such a difference. So I roasted some Vine plum tomatoes from Tesco. They were so good. They almost tasted like caramelised tomatoes. Coriander, rocket, and some red onion. And I just think it made it so much better. I've got some leftover mince and a little bit of sweet potato. And I've got no rocket left. So I've added some broccoli, coriander, red onion, and I don't know about you, it was actually the first time I tried cottage cheese. I think it's always been the texture that's put me off. But I've just blended it in the blender, and I think that's what I'm going to do going forward, because I actually didn't not like the taste. It was just the texture. Every time I had it, I had to mix it in with the mince. It just put me off. I much prefer it blended. Got some left over, so I popped it in the air fryer to see if I can get it crispy. I think I put too much water in when I blended it, so I don't think it will. I'm gonna have a check now. Let's get out for a little bit. Today's outfit is from ZARA. My shoes are also from ZARA. My bodysuit is from Primark, and my jacket is from Tesco. Right, let's go and see what's new in. Remind me never to go shopping to do a little shopping haul on a Sunday afternoon. Everywhere was a mess. There were sizes missing of things that I liked the look of. I have bought a couple of bits which I will show you when I get home. Felt a bit overwhelmed in there because it was quite busy, so I'm not sure if I'm going to keep them or not. I'll share them and see what you guys think. A few DMs regarding my fertility journey, and I've had a few questions, so I'm happy to answer. I'm going to pop this bit at the end of the vlog because I know it's not for everyone. Something that is good though going on a Sunday afternoon is Marks and Spencer's have a lot of reduced things. So I'm going to make some sort of chicken Caesar. So I've got some breaded chicken, which was £2. It's just me tonight for dinner. And then some lovely lettuce. I'm not really an overly fan of a Caesar dressing, especially a shop bought one. So I'm going to make my own sort of creamy dressing, but with cottage cheese. I did it over the protein beef bowl the other day and I really liked it, so I'm going to do that. I've seen quite a few people talk about cottage cheese with pineapple. What do you have that with? I do want to give it a go. I'm still a bit about the texture, so I'm not sure about that. Strawberries. I've not had strawberries in ages and I keep seeing everybody on social media having them. Red onion, I always just think it elevates a dish for me, hot or cold, just chopped red onion on top, so I'm running out. And then I think I've had a delivery of my juicer. So I managed to get loads of packs of celery for 75p. I got some ginger to pop in there and also lemon and lime. And I'm going to try and make that my first drink in the morning. Oh no, and a little cucumber as well. That's everything I got from Marks and Spencer's. My HelloFresh as well right here. Can't actually remember what I ordered. So I tend to try and make most of both HelloFresh and Gusto and go between the two depending on any discounts that are on. What have we got? Miso pork, 650 calories and 32 grams of protein. So that's basically what I select our meals on. High protein and low calorie if possible. That is 41 grams of protein and calories 531, and that's the Chinese style chicken and noodle stir fry. I may have got extra chicken which you can do now with HelloFresh, which was really good. And then a beef couscous bowl. So if we do IVF, I will really cut back on the gluten again. I enjoy couscous, but it is gluten, so every now and again I will have it in my diet. And that is 39 grams of protein and 674 calories. Right, I'm going to put this all away. MAXX first. These are definitely very, I think, holiday vibe. Now, I don't need both of these, but I couldn't decide in the store which ones I preferred. And the lighting was so dark, I couldn't really see myself, and I didn't really want to be taking pictures in the middle of the store to see what I looked like. But if we go to Ibiza, I feel like these are very Ibiza vibe. And a little bit of colour as well for me. I'm definitely more of a plain Jane kind of girl. So, excuse that pile of stuff. I did really well with all the clothes, but I've got some more to sort out. What do we think of these? Now, they're not your everyday sunglasses, are they? Everyday sunglasses, but I definitely think they're giving Ibiza. I'm not sure now, I've got them home. Let me know below. And then, same theme. Please, I'm wearing pink. Jimmy will be shocked. If he could dress me head to toe in pink, I think he would. Right, what do you think? I like these ones because the lens is graded, and I always think when the lens is slightly graded, they look more expensive. Same vibe, but different shape. Again, I'm not sure now, I've got them home. I need to do a selfie and see what they look like. Do you like them? Do you prefer one more than the other? Let me know. They are $12.99 each, so I think the case is worth more than that. You get a free Marc Jacobs case. And then this bag isn't Ibiza, it's just more of a nice holiday. What do we think? I feel like they're quite kind of giving like designer vibes and ZARA vibes as well. That is $29.99. I've not even looked for a basket bag online, so I have no idea how much they are or if this is the best one out there. I might have a bit of a Google now. I've bought one to see if I prefer any of the ones before. Green. That's quite cute. And then this is definitely giving me designer vibes. Again, it's probably not my beat holiday, but it would be nice on holiday. I haven't really got any small bags. You'll see the bags I tend to use on rotation. It's got a little pouch to put all your stuff in. And then it has also got two straps. So a thick strap and, oh no, just a thick strap. And then there's a little clasp thing. I need to have a think what I'd wear it with. Is it me or not? I like it like that. I think it looks nice. I don't like it as a crossbody, I don't think. But, or as a shoulder bag. But I do like it to just generally hold. And that's the... So H&M, I've ordered a couple of swimsuits and then a little bralette, which looks quite big, to go underneath my new white blazer from ZARA, so I can leave it open on holiday. Let's see what that looks like. And then just a new swimsuit. It's actually a nicer colour in person. It looks quite bright on this camera. It's more of a dusky blue. It's as bright as that. But my body is definitely not ready for swimsuit weather or bikinis, but I thought maybe a nice swimsuit might make me feel better. We'll see when I go to try them on. And then same in brown. But they are both different sizes because yes, that's a medium, which and probably a small maybe. But it's a nice colour brown. Again, it's probably a little bit darker than it's showing on camera. Let's see which one fits better. Ready? Bye. No. And then from MAXX, I've seen a couple of satin skirts with lace at the bottom. This is a long version, and then I've ordered a short version from Pretty Little Thing to wear like t-shirts, like casual t-shirt. I've ordered two sizes because I'm not sure what size I am. So like a champagne colour, and then that's the lace at the bottom. I will try them on and then try and show you what everything looks like. add some garlic granules, a little bit of Italian seasoning, onion granules, lots of pepper, and then you want to add a bit of water or olive oil. Might do a little bit of both this time, just because it can get a bit stuck. That's better. Sorry if there's a bit of background noise, but I've just had quite a big Amazon delivery and I want to use one of the items now, so I thought I'd do a quick haul with you of what I've got. So I use olive oil for cooking and I have my own spray bottle that I spray from for frying and things and using in the air fryer. I don't tend to buy the pre-sprayed ones because I think some of them do have like sort of added extra bits in there that you just don't need or want when you are trying to be healthy. And to be honest, it probably is cheaper anyway doing it this way. But my glass bottle was clear, which is not good for olive oil, but it broke a couple of days ago and I have found a dark glass bottle which I have been looking for so long. So I've actually ordered 2 colours because I couldn't decide. I think they had I don't know, 3 or 4 colours maybe. I'll share them what they're like, and I think you can buy 2 packs if you want more than one. So I've got a black lid one and you can use it as a spray. You can also use it as a pourer if you want to, which is quite good. And then I also ordered a cream because I wasn't too sure how that would actually look, but I actually quite like it. So my plan was to return one because if I was thinking of keeping 2, I should have bought the 2-pack because it was a little bit cheaper. And I don't know whether now to keep them, because I've got the pour bit as well, to have one for olive oil and one for extra virgin olive oil. They were pretty good. And then this I want to use now. So during IVF, I used to have green smoothies every day with things like celery, cucumber, ginger, lemon or lime, and then frozen mango was quite good in there, just it would help with the taste, and pineapple. You can't really get a lot of vegetables and stuff in a smoothie, although it is better for you because of the fibre content. So I've been searching for a juicer where I could get more veg in my drinks, but doesn't get rid of all the fibre like some other juicers. So I'm interested to try this. I did lots of research to try and find the right one. I wanted ones that kind of looked alright. I wanted one that actually looked alright for eventually when we do get a kitchen. I wanted one that was dishwasher safe. So I am hoping this answers all my wants and needs. It actually looks quite big, doesn't it? Right, self-feeding slow juicer. Do a little handheld steamer as well, which looks quite good. Sorry, slightly distracted. A boat is going past. Right, can you see that? Oh, it's got little sticky bits. Well, not sticky, but they're rubber, so they stick to the surface. So that is the actual machine. And then put in there, and then that locks it all, and then well, we'll use that today. I've already cut up a load of celery. That's another very adult purchase, but this has been on my list for a while too. I think I've been so used to living in the house feeling like a building site. So you clean and tidy, but nowhere never looks quite clean and tidy because everything's unfinished and dusty, and obviously some of our rooms are just plastered and not painted. And I wanted a steamer that did everything. So one that I can do the floors with, the rugs with, the windows, the bathroom. Next on the list is I really would like a robot hoover, especially for putting on every evening before we go to bed. It's a massive crow. Oh, it's gone now. Poppy's hair is not that bad, and Harry's wasn't. Fred's, it molts quite a lot, and there are certain times of the year where it's ridiculous, where I could hoover in the evening and then wake up and the room is covered in hair again. I love a robot hoover next. They're quite expensive, aren't they? And I know there's a lot of just like general normal hoovers out there that say they're for pet hair, and they're just not. So I just think that I definitely need good recommendations for middle length dog hair that actually picks it up. It doesn't get all tangled in the hoover, and to be honest, I don't even know if a robot hoover would be good enough for that. H2O HD, so that is for the floor and carpet, and you get various cloths. Definitely going to need the user's guide for this one. I think that's for the window. I have no idea what that one's for. And then this is the actual steamer itself, so you can have it long or you can use it as a portable one as well, I think. That's it as a long steamer, and then you've got it as a portable one as well. So do you know, just for cleaning the bathrooms, I think it will help. We have a, I think you call it like a waterfall sink in our ensuite, and I picked that design just because it's just easy to clean. However, I want to get where the water trap is in the waterfall bit, I want to clean that a bit, because I think sometimes water can sit there and it can go a bit stale. So I'm hoping this will sort all my problems out. And sort of down the sides as it goes into, it's starting to stain a little bit. Another toy to play with, and then before I attempt to do the steaming on the rug, I bought a brush to hopefully pick up some of the hair within the rug, because hoovering just doesn't get them all out, and I just think adding a steamer on top, it's just going to be it. So I'm hoping this is going to answer all my prayers and get some of the hair out. I'm dreading this. I really do hope it works. It's got the bristle brush. Right, let's get on with, might have to give this a little go, but on with making the juice. How to juice, and apparently there's a YouTube video that you just need to scan.
You don't have to go far to feel far away.
Let's give this a go. So excited! And the main ingredient. I'm just going to let some of that out, so I'm not sure how full you're meant to make it. Oh gosh, that comes out quick. It was really easy to rinse, so I rinsed it all first and then just give it a quick clean. If there were any areas that are hard to get to, it was probably just inside here, but just grab a teaspoon to get what's in there out, and also I use the other end as well. But I imagine it's one of those things that you need to rinse as soon as you've used it. Really easy to clean, so that's without even using the dishwasher. And then I've got 2 jugs here, and I've just cleaned these to put in. I still need to, oh, the labels are coming off really easily. Right, well I might just quickly do that now, because that's been irritating me for ages. I have just had a delivery of a couple of potential holiday items. I don't know what's wrong with me lately. I've been feeling a little bit of colour. As you can see, I'm in, this is actually jumper, but it's too small for him now, so give it to me. So, I've tried a couple of my swimsuits on, and I really don't like myself, which I knew I am bigger than I want to be. I still haven't lost all the weight that I want to, so nothing's feeling very nice. But I saw this swimsuit. Gosh, it looks very pale on camera. It's actually quite bright yellow. Well, it's under, I will put a picture of it, what it's like on the website, because I definitely won't be showing it on. I think it's under lime. This is a size, to be honest, they were running out of sizes, so it's a size 12. Looks very short in the body, doesn't it? So that, and then a sort of cover-up kimono, I think they're called. I ordered, it's the same one, but I ordered it in 2 sizes because I wasn't too sure. If we go to a beach club or something, I don't want to be walking around in a swimsuit or bikini, so I thought at least I could wear one underneath this with maybe like shorts or a little skirt. Sorry, these are all from MAXX. So I'll try them on. That's the same, but just in a different size. And then I think this is just a t-shirt, a linen cropped t-shirt, which I just thought would be nice with jeans, shorts, trousers, anything basically, skirts. Right, I'm going to quickly try these on. I've had a few DMs regarding my fertility journey, and I've had a few questions I'm happy to answer. Just to give a little bit of context before I answer some of those questions, we have been trying now for around 8 years, and basically our journey really started before COVID. I have 2 conditions, endometriosis and adenomyosis. I've been aware for a majority of my life that something wasn't quite right, extremely painful and heavy periods, and that got worse when I came off the pill. Like anybody on this journey who's probably a similar age to me, it takes a long time to get diagnosed. A lot of backwards and forwards, not being taken seriously, etc. Being told I've just got IBS. I was going through the NHS to find out more because I just knew something wasn't right, and thinking about trying for a family. I was on the waiting list for gynecology, which, to be honest, I've not had a great experience with our local hospital and gynecology. I've been messed around quite a lot, and we kind of pushed more for the fertility side because things were just taking too long. COVID struck while I was on the waiting list for NHS fertility testing. Don't get me wrong, I've had lots of hormone tests throughout the years to see if anything was an issue, and that was all fine. 2 years in COVID, kind of wasted on this waiting list, and then I think it took another year after for me to get an appointment. I had a test called AMH test done, which I have never had done considering we've been on this journey for such a long time, and it was never mentioned. It was also never mentioned that if I was below a certain threshold, then we wouldn't be suitable for IVF support with the NHS. I got my results back, and yes, I was below threshold. I do that because I later have had tests and it was higher than what the NHS said, but we'll get to that bit. And basically the gynecology and fertility at the hospital said, trying to put us into a panic, forget about your endometriosis and anything else that's going on, you need to do IVF ASAP because you are running out of time. So in complete panic, we did our research of going private. It's hard to talk about the money side because we were very fortunate to be in a position to go private. I then had to see a therapist, and it was all online, I think, because there was still some sort of restrictions, because I had a huge needle phobia to the point just seeing a picture, having someone talk about them, even just going to the doctors, if I ever saw one of those yellow needle boxes, I felt terrible. I saw a therapist, she was lovely, she really helped me work on that, and we then went private for IVF. Now, because of the conditions I have, and my age, and my phobia, we went straight to a clinic that people tend to normally go towards once they fail elsewhere. Based in London, they are extremely expensive. They call it the boot camp of clinics because you have to be in every day, 7 a.m. or 7:30 a.m, sometimes 6:30 a.m. if you're having some sort of form of op. And we live 2 to 3 hours away. We were getting up at 4 a.m. to travel down to London to have treatment and travel back every day. We could have stayed down there, but at the time we had 3 rescue dogs. One, Harry, who was senior, unfortunately was deteriorating, so couldn't really leave him. And we had a new rescue dog, Fred, who was having some real anxiety issues. He didn't like anybody or anything. He's still like that now, but he has a couple of people that he will tolerate. And also, because Harry was deteriorating and Fred was getting bigger and older, they were fighting, and we had to keep them completely separate for 18 months. There was a lot going on. Just to add to that, we were in the middle of a huge house renovation. It was a building site. I'll add some images of what we were living with at the time. I think at one point we didn't have heating for a year, and the part of the roof was off on part of the house. You can imagine, probably not the best environment for me doing IVF, but we were told that basically I was running out of time and we needed to do it. We knuckled down. The first IVF failed. I responded well to the treatment, no huge side effects. I was on lots of drugs, the fertility drugs, steroids, Viagra twice a day. That is an experience, and not as you think. It actually made my head feel like it was swelling and my face was bright red. Walking around town or London, I was convinced people knew that I was on something. It was such a strange experience. Anyway, first one failed. The second one, we did conceive. At the time it was triplets, although we were told one wouldn't survive. We had identical twins that were doing well. That is another story. Obviously that didn't go to plan, and we're currently going through actually a bit of a legal thing with the NHS about that, because I ended up having, I can't remember what it's called, an opt to remove them so you could have them genetically tested, and there was an error and they didn't do it. So that's a little bit of a thing that we're currently going through. Just to mention, the first IVF, I had my natural killer cells and cytokine, I'll put that word on the road because I can't say it, it's test done, and I was only slightly elevated, so they said it was up to me if I wanted to have treatment for that. We didn't, and that cycle failed. So the second round, they said that we would have to have the treatment this time round, and obviously it worked to a point. And then, because I had my AMH retested privately, we actually sent it off to the NHS to say, look, this is actually the real figure, and it was like over 2 points higher, which is a huge difference. I'm sure that test, you have to have it done in hospital, and I'm sure it has to be tested within the first couple of hours. If that affected the reading or what affected the reading. But anyway, it took a year for them to come back and say, yes, we'd accept that test and you can now have treatment on the NHS. But because of the success we had on the second round and the ups and downs that I've had with the NHS, and this is not to put the NHS down, because other departments I've had such good experiences with family and friends and etc. But gynecology and fertility for me have been not the best. Sorry, I'm just pulling into home. So we just felt that to then change the protocol to do NHS, and obviously having that in mind that we were running out of time, we decided not to. Also during this time, my referral had come through with the NHS to have my endometriosis diagnosed. I went and had that done. They confirmed that I had stage 4 endometriosis. It's blocked one of my tubes, it's partially blocked the other. It's on my ovaries, it's on my ligaments on my back, is on my bladder. It's luckily not on my bowel, I was concerned about that. And it's also on my diaphragm. I was and I had a fibroid that I was getting them to check because the clinic wanted me to have that removed. Again, not a great experience. They didn't remove any of the endometriosis, and they said that the fibroid didn't need removing. They were concerned that it would cause more damage. We went back to the clinic and had a third round. Again, responded fairly well. The third round, we had a chemical pregnancy. Not everybody feels this, but the second IVF that I actually felt implantation. I didn't know at the time that's what it was, but I felt it. And then on the third one, I did feel it, but more of a lighter sensation and a lot later in the process. It was a late implantation and a weak one, and it ended in a chemical pregnancy. And then the fourth round, I wanted to do things differently, and the clinic said that we shouldn't, it was just a numbers game, we just need to carry on doing what we're doing. There was a few tests that I had in mind that I wanted doing, and they didn't support me on that. We did the fourth round and it was a fail. Just to mention, the first and fourth round, I'm going to put the word on the screen. I'm sorry, I'm dyslexic and sometimes I just don't see things properly on screen. On day 3 of my period, they'd like to do it to check your womb, do a little scrape and a little I think some sort of like wash thing. Both times I had that, which was the first time and the fourth time, they're the times I didn't have implantation. And I'm not saying that this is correct, but I feel because I've got endometriosis, any slight of irritation that they do extra doesn't make a very nice environment for an embryo to implant. That's just how I feel, just based on those 4 rounds that I've had. Where we are, I've had over a year off. Basically, financially, when I say we spent a fortune, we have spent a fortune, and it was money that we didn't have. We are very fortunate to be in the lovely house we live in. It's hard to talk about this, but I just want to give concept of it's not just us being able to afford all these IVFs. We have sacrificed a lot. We still live in a building site. We haven't had a kitchen for a few years. I only recently, I think it was last year, bought one from Facebook Marketplace, and I've painted it. Jimmy sold a vintage car that he had, and we have worked hard to earn the money we have. And the partly why we live where we live is because we've bought houses, done them up and sold them, and made our way up the property ladder. And I know this has got nothing to do with IVF, but I just don't want people to think that we decided to go to the most expensive clinic and we can afford it, because that isn't completely true. We've had a year off. We're in a position now that things have got a little bit better, but we're still not fully in the position to pay for another expensive round. I've been looking at another clinic, and I'm happy to go more into that if anyone's interested, why I've chosen them, or why I'm thinking of choosing them. We haven't actually definitely decided that we are, but there's a couple of tests that I would like doing that we haven't had done previously, and they are a full microbiome test. They just check there's nothing else that's going on inside, bacterial wise, or any other things that aren't quite right or quite in the level they should be. My NK cells, I've always had a blood test which gets sent off to Chicago, and that in itself, I think the blood test is around £800, and you have to have the test done before you have the actual treatment done. And I think the treatment's £2,500. And my second IVF, I had 3 because I was pregnant. You have to keep on top of them. But there is, I think, a little bit more of a detailed test if you have a sort of test from within side, from womb. That's something I would be looking at. And then there's another thing that I can't remember the name, sorry. It's where sometimes you and your partner can have DNA that's very similar. It doesn't mean you're related, but there could be sections within your DNA. And if that is the case, my body could see that as it's part of me and it's some form of like maybe cancer and kill it off. There is a lit treatment you can have if you do test on this similar scale, where I think it's blood and they do something with it. This is all very sciencey, and then it's put back into me for my body to get used to this foreign body being there. That's something that we would like to look at. And I've had extra vitamin tests done, which I wish I'd had done previously, because I know years ago my B12 was very low, and you just forget when you go through IVF of all the other stuff that's going on. I've had my B12, my vitamin D and iron, and they're all on the very low range, but within the range of the NHS that's normal. He says they're on the low end, and therefore they're not ideal, and I do feel like I do have symptoms because they are low. And a full thyroid check. I think normally they check 1 or 2 markers, but I've had all 3 done. That is pretty much everything. If I think of anything else, because I'm extremely hot and I need to get out of this car, I will add it somehow. Sorry I can't remember the names of everything. If I have pronounced anything wrong, I will add text to this. If anyone's got any questions, please let me know. I know how difficult this journey is, and I cannot tell you how social media has helped me through this difficult time, because it isn't the norm. Everyone else is on this normal journey, and you feel such an alien doing this kind of stuff all on your own. So yes, I think that's everything. Speak soon.